Making six figures a year sounds like a dream come true job. Unless you're working for an action figure manufacturing plant, then it sounds like a quick way to the unemployment line. Thanks for stopping by my YouTube channel today for Comic Book Editions Volume 102. Today I have part 2 of my birthday haul to share with you, and I'm going to bookmark that with some recent additions to my collection, collectibles and comic books. Plus I have new subscriber shoutouts to take care of. Since I have so much to share with you in today's video, let's not waste any time getting started. I thought a good way to get started would be this awesome Marvel Legends action figure of Dark Phoenix. This is only the second Marvel Legends action figure I have in my collection. I have the Black Lightning Bolt Carol Danvers Ms. Marvel figure. I couldn't resist that. And I'm sure that that's probably the exact same mold that they used for this. Even the sash is on the same side of the action figure. This is part of the current wave that's out right now. And I have to say, whoever does the artwork for these cards, A+, amazing job. I love them. My friend ComicFood2814 recently picked up the entire collection for the Marvel Legends, and I'm jealous of that. I'm not sure I have the space or I want to devote that much money to that, but I might end up with some FOMO for not doing that, but way to go, Foo. It's kind of funny, the action figures that he was able to find in the wild with no problem are ones that I never see in my area, and the ones that he had to turn to the internet for are the ones that I can easily find. It's so interesting to me how geographical regions can vary so much when it comes to carrying products. But as I said, I'm so happy to have this. There is a regular Phoenix action figure, and I do need to pick that up. She's part of a 2-pack with the classic yellow Wolverine, and that is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. It's still in stock on their website, and I need to bite the bullet before that goes away because I would have FOMO not getting that. So hopefully you'll see that in a future comic book editions video here on my channel. But as for now, I am stoked to have this one in my collection and to kick off today's video by sharing it with you. And since we're talking action figures, this one I was at Walmart and I found this Wonder Woman bendy fig. But she wasn't in the area where she was supposed to be. She was just kind of like sitting out. And I tried to look to see if there were more or others, and I couldn't find any bendy figs. So I guess it was just meant to be that she was sitting out so I would find her and take her home. Of course, this is the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman 1984 movie version. And it's cool. I like it. I can dig it. I can get behind it. It's Wonder Woman. You know, I enjoy that. So it's just the fact that it was just laying out there in some rando place that I was walking by. And I looked down and I'm like, what is that? And what is that doing there? So I went to where the bendable figure should be, which they actually keep in the electronics section. Wasn't any there, wasn't any in the toy section either. So it was just meant to be, but happy to have this for my collection. Something else that I'm happy to have for the collection. Oh man, look at this. Look at this big Funko Pop. And this is part of a new series they're doing that represents the comic book covers. So it's taken the Wonder Woman issue 6 comic book cover from the Rebirth era, and they've kind of redone that, or done a Funko-ized version, I should say, of it. So we got the little Wonder Woman down there in the corner, and then we have, I almost thought it actually was a real reprint of the comic book behind it, but it's just the cover. So it's very sharp. I love the big size of it too. And this is part of, you know, I hadn't heard of them doing this type or this size figures before, and she was one of the first, I think, that got announced for it. There's a really cool Captain Marvel Monica Rambeau one that I saw that I think is a Target exclusive too. But happy to have this Wonder Woman Funko Pop, Pop number 3, into my collection now. And while we're sharing Funko Pops, this would probably be a good time for us to segue into the birthday portion of this video. So a few weeks back, I had my birthday. And last week I shared with you a mess of gifts that I received from my great friend, Mr. Fridgeart on Instagram. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. There's like 5 treasury editions he sent me too. Well, I was blessed so much and so fortunate to receive so many birthday gifts that I couldn't fit them all into one video. So these next several items I'm going to show you came from 2 of my friends that live locally to me, that we spend, you know, time together in person. Carla, she is not online, and Wise Hermit. So they got together and got me several birthday gifts. Plus, we celebrated a little late by my request and went out and saw the Doctor Strange movie because that came out after my birthday. We saw the Doctor Strange movie. We went out to eat. We just had a great time. And they were way too generous with the amount of gifts they gave me. And I'm not showing everything that they gave me, but I'm showing some of the ones that tie into the Funkos and the comic books with you now. Oh, and by the way, speaking of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I have a Doctor Strange themed cover by video coming up this Friday on my channel with Just a Little Podcast and Comics for Thomas joining me as we look at a Doctor Strange comic book cover and decide between the A and the B cover. So don't miss that on Friday. But they got me a couple Funko Pops, and I love this one. This is Wonder Woman as part of the contest. So a lot of Wonder Woman fans have nicknamed this Biker Chick Wonder Woman because that's kind of what she looks like. And essentially, if you've never read the contest storyline, it's very good. We need to review that sometime on Fanboys Live, as a matter of fact. But essentially, they have another contest to see who's going to be the Wonder Woman. Diana loses, Artemis becomes Wonder Woman. But Diana still goes back to man's world, and she works as a private investigator, and she wears this horrible wig and this outfit that's essentially looks like a biker chick. Well, to celebrate Wonder Woman's 80th anniversary, they made a Funko Pop of it. I love it. I think they made an Funko Pop for every outfit that she had throughout the 80 years. So I didn't have this one yet, and now I do thanks to my friends, and I'm stoked to have it. Another one that is not Wonder Woman in her traditional costume is this Diana Prince Funko Pop. Of course, this is from the Justice League movie. And more specifically, I'd probably say the Snyder cut. At least we see more of her in this outfit in the Snyder cut. I don't know if I'll ever watch the regular cut of the Justice League movie again after seeing the Snyder cut. Although it's long, it's so much better. But this was a cool Funko Pop that my friends got for me as well. So there's still some from the Wonder Woman 80th anniversary line that I need to pick up. I kind of was waiting for some of the BOGO sales or them to go on sale or get clearance out and save a little bit money. But I need to put a list together. But if I had to guess, I'd say maybe half or a little under half I still need to get yet. But I'll be working on that soon, hopefully. So my friends also decided to get a couple comic books for me as well, which is awesome. This first one, I was stoked that they got for me because I didn't have it in my pull list, but I really wanted this book. So this is the Batman Superman World's Finest #1 with the famous Will Smith Academy Award slap. Oh wait, I mean the famous Batman slap. Or is it the famous Mommy Dearest slap? Here it is. This, of course, is based off of a meme, and the meme came from an imaginary story from World's Finest way back in the 1960s. It was, I'm looking at my notes, 1965, and World's Finest 153 was where the original panel came from that inspired this meme that has just taken off. Well, this is a 1 in 25 incentive cover, and I don't show a lot of recent books on my channel unless they're incentive covers or ratio covers or exclusive covers. And they got me this one, and I was stoked. But they didn't stop there. If you're going to have Batman bitch slapping Superman, you got to have the other way around, right? Superman bitch slapping Batman right back, giving it right back to him. I thought this story was really good too. I love the fact that they used Doom Patrol as guest stars. I enjoyed the story so much I ended up picking up issue #2, and I enjoyed issue #2. So Mark Waid, you've done a very good job. No one's surprised by that because you are very talented, but you've done a very good job on this Batman Superman World's Finest, and I was happy to have this in my collection. So those items, along with a whole bunch more, were ones that my friends got for me as part of my birthday haul, and I want to thank them so much for the wonderful day spending time with me, and way too generous with the gifts. And just want to say thank you again to Wise Hermit and Carla, who teamed up together and got those last few items that I just showed you, part 2 of my birthday haul. Since I've been showing you some World's Finest stuff, I want to get into some other books that I've bought myself. These next 4 books or so I picked up from Nucadia. And they're World's Finest comic books. This one is 286 from World's Finest Volume 1. So I was familiar with the fact, I knew that Wonder Woman at least had some type of cameos in this story. And when I did some more research on it, I found out that it's actually a 3-issue story arc that involves the Justice League. And it was a really good story, and I enjoyed it. So this is the beginning of that 3-issue story arc. I ended up picking up all 3 parts. So here is 287. Wonder Woman wasn't in this one so much. I know Zatanna got very sick in that last issue, and Wonder Woman takes her to Paradise Island to try to use the purple healing ray on her too. But overall, the writing of the story was good. I wasn't so much into the interior artwork. That so much wasn't my favorite out of these 3-issue story arcs. But I'm still happy to have this in my collection anyway, because I've known about this story for quite some time. I've just never pulled the trigger, and I thought now's the time to pull the trigger. And then wrapping this up with the 3rd part of the 3-issue story arc. That's a cool cover too. And one more Superman Batman related book that I want to share with you that I picked up is Superman and Batman Generations, an imaginary series. I actually had this. My friends got it for me back when it was a new issue, but mine got a little bit damaged, so I wanted to replace my copy. Of course, we have Hippolyta here as Wonder Woman. Absolutely beautiful image of her too. Yeah. I don't think I'm mistaken in saying, no, this is John Byrne. I was like, that looks John Byrne. I'm like, and it says on the cover John Byrne. So yeah, this is the only one I have from this run, but I might pick up the other ones too because I enjoyed the read. Let's pause for a second and do some new and recent subscriber shoutouts to my channel. I couldn't grow this channel and have the support like I do without you. I'm so appreciative and thankful to you for watching and for subscribing to my channel. Some new and recent subscribers to my channel include Josh Rothberg, Rayman the Silencer Man, Mel W 2100, JG50, Jedi Farce, Comic Mike Silver Age Adams. Thank you all for being new and recent subscribers to my channel and for the support. So when I heard that they were going to reboot Amazing Spider-Man and start renumbering the title, I thought, I might be interested in an issue #1 if there's a cover that I like. I wasn't going to go out of my way to look at all the covers and then make a decision, but if there was a cover that I liked that just somehow happened by and I saw it, I thought I'm going to pull the trigger on it. And that's exactly what happened. When I saw this cover, which is an exclusive, I said, oh, I need to have that. I can't resist that. And it is a Stadium Comics exclusive for The Amazing Spider-Man #1. And it's an homage, as you can tell, to Hulk 181. Of course, I just posted this on Instagram today, and I made this cover the thumbnail for this video, as you've seen already. Isn't this awesome? So Comics for Thomas pointed out to me, and he made such a good point that I didn't realize until he said it. He said with the orange background, it really looks like a cereal box. And he's absolutely correct. It does. Now, Cookie from Just a Little Podcast read the story and didn't care for it. So I knew that going into when I read it, and I was expecting really not to like it, and it wasn't as bad as I was expecting. I've definitely read worse. I've read better too. I kind of hate that there's not one area in Peter Parker's life that he can catch a break. But as you expect with the first issue of a new volume, they're just setting up all of the threads that they're going to pull later on, plot points and storylines. So that's what this issue is all about. It was an enjoyable read. It's nothing that I'm going to pick up the series or add to a pull list or anything like that. I just couldn't resist this cover. I kind of thought it would be nice to have a #1 from this volume. Couldn't resist this cover. And one thing that I don't do that often, but I did in this case, I said, let's spec on this baby and let's get a second one as well. So I have 2 copies now because 2 Spideys are better than 1. I'm going to hold on to this for a while, and then I'll decide if I'm going to flip it, if I'm going to A-OK it, or whatever I'm going to do with it. But it's going to be a while before I make that decision. So I also noticed too that even before this shipped, while it still was in pre-order, on eBay, this book was selling for between $35 and $45 already. So a lot of people paid an extra $20-some that they didn't have to because it still was in stock on Stadium Comics website, and you could have bought it for the original price. That's why you got to do your homework and pay attention to this stuff. So, I mean, you spend an extra $20 there, you could have gotten another really cool exclusive comic book or something else that you enjoyed too. But that's their money and they're spending it the way that they want. I am a thrifty, wise shopper myself. Since I was ordering from Stadium Comics, I was looking through their other exclusives, and I saw this one that came out a few years ago, and I thought, well, since I'm ordering from them and they're already shipping to me with the Spider-Man, let's pick this one up and add it to the cart too. It saves on shipping, essentially. And this is Sera and the Royal Stars, issue number 1. And you probably already know why I wanted to pick this up. I know nothing about this character or this series. It's a Wonder Woman homage cover. And it's an homage to the Brian Boland Volume 2, number 72, that classic Wonder Woman cover. So I'm starting to think about picking up some of the Wonder Woman homage covers and adding those to my collection. I know that Sera has another Wonder Woman homage cover that's an homage to Volume 1, issue number 1. I haven't picked that one up yet. I was going to, and the cost for shipping was almost twice as much as the book. So that's kind of what stopped me. And that's an exclusive too, so there aren't a lot of options for it. If I get it, that's great. If I don't, that's okay too. But I'm happy to have this one in my collection. I kind of became familiar with Stadium Comics there in Canada from my friend Matt, Mr. Gretzky. And he A-okayed me an Archie 1941 exclusive cover from Stadium Comics that is a homage to Sensation Comics, Volume 1, number 1. But instead of Wonder Woman jumping out, it's Veronica jumping out in her graduation cap. So that's pretty cool. As a matter of fact, if you want to learn more about that book, it is the featured back issue of the week as a short on my YouTube channel. So check that out. Spend a minute learning more about that book. And while we're talking homage covers here, this is one that as soon as I saw this image on Facebook, maybe 5 or 6 months ago, I went, oh, that is so cool. This is The Bold and the Brave, issue number 1. And this is done by Tidal Wave Productions, and it's an homage to the Brave and the Bold comic book. And specifically, it was an issue that Wonder Woman guest starred in. So it's a Batman and Wonder Woman homage. It was Brave and the Bold 158 originally that they homaged. And every issue of The Bold and the Brave is an homage to a Brave and the Bold cover. So I think they got 4 or 5 issues out already. I always love looking at the issues. The 10th Muse is the one that I believe is always in the issues. That's like the regular character, like the Batman character, and then guest starring someone else. So check out Tidal Wave Productions too if you want to see some cool homage covers. They've also done some other great comic books too. They did that Dolly Parton comic book that I talked about last summer that I picked up too. So love those folks over there at Tidal Wave Productions. And I actually ordered this on Amazon because I didn't have a lot of options of finding it in a comic store. And I thought, well, it's coming Amazon. Who knows what condition it's going to show up? Because, you know, they're not going to protect it in any way, shape, or form. And they didn't protect it in any way, shape, or form. But it arrived mint, 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 minty. So fingers crossed on that one. Not that it was an expensive book. It wasn't. But, I mean, you buy a comic book, you want it not to get damaged through shipping. So in this case, everything worked out the way it was supposed to. I have one more book I want to share with you before we wrap up this comic book editions video today. And this one is an incentive cover. This is a 1 in 100. Look at that. This is the Nubia Coronation Special. And it's all foiled out, virgin cover, foiled out, and foil goodness there. This is a Swaby cover. Swaby, baby. Joshua Sway Swaby did this cover. And I love it. I have to pick up my regular issue because I don't want to open this one up and read it. I want to keep it as pristine as possible. Because 1 in 100s on this title weren't that hard to find to start out with. And when I started looking at these, because my LCS told me they weren't going to be getting this one in, I started looking at these and there were so many sites wanted $300+ for this issue. And I said, well, that's nowhere in the budget. And I ended up finding one place where I got it for under $100, which I still think is way too much to pay. I mean, I get it. But I'm thankful for this place. At least it got sold to a true fan that really enjoyed it, that wasn't in it for a flipping purpose or something like that. So those flipping incentives, happy to have this one in the collection. So I thought it'd be a good way to wrap up our Comic Book Editions Volume 102 video today. What was your favorite book out of all of the ones that I shared today? I would love to know that. Leave your comments below, as your comments are always welcomed, encouraged, and appreciated. Coming up next week, I have won a prize from the Immortal Biggie Shack New World Order comics. I don't know what's in here except for a bunch of comic books, so we'll unbox that next week on my channel. Don't miss that. In the meantime, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please take this opportunity to do so, as it's a great way to show support for my channel. I'll see you for Cover By coming up this Friday here on the channel. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your day and take care.